The Gunslinger's Redemption. In the desolate western town of Ravenwood, a lone gunslinger named Eli Harper roamed the dusty streets. The air was heavy with an eerie silence, broken only by the occasional creak of an old wooden board or the distant howl of a coyote. Ravenwood had fallen victim to a sinister curse, turning its once lively inhabitants into mindless zombies. Eli, haunted by his past and seeking redemption, had sworn to protect the innocent from the undead scourge. He knew that there was no cure for the cursed souls that plagued the town, but he hoped to bring them to justice through his trusty Colty revolvers. One moonlight night, as Eli patrolled the seemingly deserted town, he detected a faint rustling noise coming from an abandoned saloon. With cautious steps, he approached the creaking door and prepared himself for whatever lay behind it. As he pushed it open, the horde of grotesque zombies lunged at him. The rotting, gnashing teeth, hungry for his flesh. Eli drew his revolvers with lightning speed and unloaded round after round into the advancing undead. His shots were precise, finding their mark with each pull of the trigger. The air was soon filled with the scent of gunpowder and the piercing screams of the undefeated zombies. But as the dust settled, Eli realized that not all the zombies had been eliminated. Among the fallen undead, he noticed a young girl, her eyes filled with terror. She was different than the others. Her face still retained some semblance of humanity. Kneeling beside the girl, Eli noticed a locket around her neck. Inside was a faded photograph of her family. It was then that he knew what he had to do. He had to end her suffering. With a heavy heart, Eli aimed his revolver at her head, ready to deliver the final mercy. But before he could pull the trigger, the girl's trembling hand reached out and grabbed his wrist. Her eyes pleaded for mercy, for a chance at redemption. Eli hesitated, conflicted by the compassion that still lay within him. In that moment, he made his decision. Holstering his revolver, he picked up the young girl in his arms and carried her out of the Ravenwood. He knew he couldn't save her from becoming one of the undead, but he would give her a dignified end away from the cursed town. With every step, Eli whispered words of comfort and assurance to the young girl, who clung to him like a lifeline. As they left Ravenwood behind, the curse slowly took hold of her, turning her into one of the tragic undead. But in her final moments, she showed a glimmer of gratitude, her eyes momentarily regaining their humanity. Eli watched as her life force faded away. Her tears were streaming down his face. He had failed to save her, just as he failed numerous others. But in her sacrifice, he found a renewed sense of purpose, to protect those who are still alive, to give them a chance at survival in this horror-filled world. And so, Eli Harper, the gunslinger haunted by his past, continued his journey for redemption, determined to bring hope and salvation to shattered souls he encountered in his path.